Hey, what's up, everyone? I thought I would jump on and just go through a short meditation as I talk a lot about being and point a lot to being in awareness and being in the moment and presence. And pretty much most of what I do and talk about alludes to being more present or mindful or just in that state of being. So obviously a formal meditation is a good way to practice that. So what's really important is you understand what meditation is, what it means, what mindfulness means, because I think there's a lot of misconception out there. So, in any meditation, it's not about chasing an image or chasing an ideal, creating a desire of what you want to be and adding to who you are egoically. It's more about just being present with the moment as it is, or being mindful of the moment as it is. Or so in that sense, meditation can really be any activity where your full attention and energy is in that activity. Okay, and that's where the flow state comes from with sport, or whether it's doing the dishes or outside walking, any state where you're in that state of no mind, where that mind isn't, and there's no center, your mind isn't taking your energy, there's no projection and overthinking or emotional activity again, they're taking again all of your energy. Okay, so whether you use meditation or mindfulness, it doesn't really matter what word you use, but it's allowing whatever is in that moment to be there, simply be there, and allowing anything internally or externally to come and go. Okay, and just being empty of what is. And so that's where formal meditation just gives you a practice where perhaps in the morning or evening you can sit down and go into that a little bit deeper. Generally allows you to be more aware and to gain a little bit more stillness, and from there you can have perhaps insights more so below the conscious level, and who knows what can come out of that stillness the more and more you practice it. So but on top of that, with a lot of the clients I coach and teach, it'll be little mini practices in the day, or things where you can be present, task mental warm-ups, so to go along with more of a formal meditation. So another reason why I really wanted to do this, guys and girls, is because it will give you a deeper understanding with what I coach, what I talk about, with a lot of the content I create. It's more of an experiential feeling, so it's not so much understanding it through the mind and creating more identity through it, and getting into this whole world of sort of duality and sort of mental concepts and images, going completely away from that into just being present. So when you can experientially go through a meditation in that way, then it can allow you to have a better understanding, even if it doesn't become a regular practice. So generally with clients I work with one-on-one or teams will go through meditation at some point, and yeah, they do get a much deeper sense of what I'm talking about in terms of performance and flow, presence, being. Really is just being in that state and allowing that stillness to flow through into what you do. And that really is the flow state where you're not there as a center of the mind, because if you're there as a center, naturally there's that little bit of fear and anxiety and isolation that's there psychologically, and projection for security, and projecting to the past and future and so on. So you're living that past. Whereas if you're just completely kind of empty in that flow state and being and just that pure awareness, then you don't have that activity, and you can act a lot more intuitively, and there's more of a higher intelligence that can function and flow through you. So we'll give this a go. I know I talked a bit, but I think it's very important when you sit down for a formal meditation that you do understand that. Otherwise, something commonly that comes up, a lot of people will say, oh, my mind was just active, it's a waste of time. And the whole point is just, okay, if it's active, just to watch that, okay, we'll be present with that and inquire into it a bit and give it some space and time, okay, or for you to again be able to just inquire into if your mind there's a strong desire there and strong pull. You've got to kind of begin somewhere, and be able to see that is really the first step for a lot of people. So what I'd like you to do, you can come back to this video another time, save it, come back to it another time, and perhaps when it's more quiet, you've got a bit of space, there's not so much business going on, or now's fine. So we'll go through just a short meditation. So what I'd like you to do is just to, I'd suggest you close your eyes. You don't have to, but and just Again, just get comfortable. Be in any way, sit in any way, or lie, whatever feels comfortable to you. Okay, try not to fall asleep. It can be helpful to sit up if you feel like you might fall asleep. And just close your eyes and just start to become aware of the moment as it is. Okay, so we're not trying to create or chase a certain image, or just forget everything that you've ever thought of what meditation is or mindfulness, and just be empty of that for the next few minutes. Okay, in fact, put everything to the side. So everything that you've had going on today in your life, you've got coming up tomorrow, whether that's work, family, relationships, all that busyness that the mind can create, that we can live with and project, just put it to the side. And a few minutes now you can pick it up, a few minutes from now, but just leave it for now and just be empty of it. So we're just really gonna be completely empty and just be. Okay, and give yourself some space just to be. It's very simple and natural. Right? It's a very natural state. It really is your natural state when you think of where all of that activity comes from, whether that be mind or emotional activity, reactions, desires. Okay, we're just going to connect with that natural beingness or emptiness that allows any other energy form to be there. Okay, and that's essentially the practice of meditation, mindfulness. Just relax, and if there's thoughts that are coming, or you can feel a strong pull, or your mind's telling you to get up, or this is a waste of time, you can observe all of that. Okay, straight away you can be just the awareness that allows that to be there, in anything energetically that's going on to be there. Or you don't have to be completely pulled in with all of your energy to identify with any thought pattern or thought. Just let it come and go as it is. If it's there and it's strong and it's staying, that's okay. If it's an emotional pull, just start to become a little bit aware of that energy. That it's an emotion, a little bit deeper energy, probably a little bit stronger than the thought forms or the desire to move. So, the questioning, whatever's there with your mind activity, perhaps. Just allow it to be there, and all of a sudden, you might discover that there's really a greater depth to your being when you just present and accept what is. Anything with your senses, so just feeling the floor, anything that you can hear, just allow the isness of listening, or just allow listening to happen. Okay, you don't have to be there and if you are there at the center interpreting it, that's fine, but again, a little bit deeper, you can just be with it. So the beingness is really, with meditation and mindfulness, is not necessarily anything particular, but just allowing, like a river, things to flow through, like water. Right? And if you're new to it, it might be, a bit of a discovery to see how your mind works, or what thoughts come and go. So thoughts usually happen to us, or emotions come and go. They're just the energy forms, and they almost have a life to themselves. And because we're often fully identified with them, we can't really dissociate our awareness of beingness from a lot of that pull and energy. So because it can be quite random and come and go as well, we can't tend to really identify it. So allowing that space is a fantastic time and practice, just to be more deeply aware and still, and allow that stillness just to be. And the more you can do that, the more it will flow into your life, and flow into more intuitive, creative energy will flow into what you do, and into your actions as an athlete, and training, or any task you do really, or whether it's work, relationships, or presence. We'll come into that. It's very simple, very, very natural place to be. So what I want you to do here is just, if you haven't already, you should perhaps notice your breath. So just connect with your breath a little bit and bring your attention to your breath as you breathe in through your nose. Hold and just breathe out. You just shift it. The energy just shifts into your inner body and allows beingness just to be a little bit deeper. And anything else that is there and going on, that's fine too. Just take a breath again. Come to a natural stop and just release. So even though you're consciously using your breath, it's still a very natural process. So allowing yourself to breathe in, feel your diaphragm, chest expand, and then just breathe out. Just bring your attention there. Just take one more breath. Come to the natural stop and just breathe out again. And just feel your energy go into your inner body, so to being. And just start to sense that aliveness that's there through your body. It's that awareness that I talk about a lot, just that being, that presence. There's no content to it. You're not an object that's there to analyze it or to do, just to be. Just simply be empty and be aware of what is. And notice is quite a deep peace to that and joy to that. That's quite a pure sort of state that is naturally there when your mind quietens down and you just give some space to be present. Just want you to lift your hands up away from your body. Just feel the energy that's in your palms. So move your fingers around a bit. Should feel like an aliveness in your hands. Okay, again, that's just connecting a bit deeper to your inner body and awareness. So what we can do from here is bring your energy through to your wrists. You just bring your attention there. Okay, attention to being, and then come up to your biceps. You can feel the aliveness, triceps, your shoulders, and up through your neck, and your head, top of your head, forehead, and just through your face and lips. Again, you'll probably just notice your breath in this position. Come down to your chest and feel the energy that's there. And just feel your chest as it rises, falls, down through each ab to your lower ab, and then just feel the energy of your glutes, and then quads, hamstring, and then your calves, through to your knees and shins, and just down to the top of your feet, and move your toes around a bit. Again, feel that aliveness. Okay, if you can't quite feel it, ask yourself, how do you know that your feet are there? Just as a pointer to being. And then underneath your feet again, more sensitive, just underneath your feet. Or back to your hands, how do you know your hands are there? And just feel that aliveness. In terms of one whole now, just feel that awareness through your entire being, that presence that's beyond time, beyond space. Do you think you can really measure this awareness, or can you find it somewhere and can you really put it into words, or is it more just undefined presence or limitless presence that's just energy itself, or the essence of your consciousness. So that's that beingness that's really only there through being the subject. So just sit with it a bit, and again, just be very natural about the state of presence or being. Very simple to be still and be present when you just are some space, and allow again your thoughts, and allow all of the pulls to be there, and when you connect to the deepest place then, and don't pull into any shape that's there. Let it come and go. Deeper, stronger emotions or desires. Any pull that's there at any level. You connected it with stillness then. As long as you don't allow your energy to go through into that pattern, then you can keep that abundance in the moment and presence and just beingness. So it's really this state that the flow state comes from. So that stillness flows into what you do, and that intelligence flows through into your mind, and it almost has an intelligence of its own that you can use your mind as a tool, but ultimately it's more of the stillness really is really life itself, and it doesn't separate you from your environment. There's a oneness to that, or a holistic being to that. Many athletes talk about this when they talk about flow or being in the moment. So again, so you can bring your attention back to your breath if you like. Breathe in. Hold and breathe out. And just feel the energy flow through to your inner body. You need to move your attention to your hands or your inner body as a whole, your being. Feel like getting up and moving around. You can feel that flow of energy, and this is where movement flow comes from. So movement flow comes from being in tune with your energy, so that you're one with your environment. It's very natural to move in that way, and you can do that with any activity you do, whether it's in the gym or walking or going to the supermarket, vacuuming. It doesn't really matter. There's the deeper, richer presence to that, a natural peace and joy when you fully accept the moment as it is. So there's any thoughts there coming and going, just let them be there. And with the practice of meditation, you'll find that the more depth there is to your being and awareness throughout the day and through more of a formal practice, the less pull there is with your thoughts and emotions. And you'll also find that more you'll tune into more subconscious emotions, or perhaps deeper thought patterns that you've suppressed, even going back to childhood, or if there's even more around traumatic experiences, things that you weren't even really aware of before, that are more conditioning of family, environment, society, more than who you really are. And that in itself is a great release. There's a deep sense of freedom that's realized at the level of being. So I want you to sit with that for a little bit more. Just sense the depth to your being. There's nowhere to go. Again, there's no what's next, or we're not here to achieve anything or be a certain way, or nothing at all. Just completely empty. Just be that presence, and maybe start to sense there's an innate power there and a real divine energy there, really, that you're connecting to, which is ultimately when you start to sense that, you start to sense your oneness with the world, really, or other people or nature, because that's where I talk about that beingness of Maori, Polynesian, or indigenous cultures, because a lot of their way of life comes from, this is the starting point, is that presence, so not the mind. So there's a whole different culture and outlook that I think will bring a lot of EQ and balance to the very mind dominant societies we live in, which is great from a technical point, but there certainly needs to be more balance because of the dysfunction that it does cause inwardly and outwardly. Awesome. Wicked. So thanks everyone for that. Went a little bit longer than I thought. I'll have a think about how I'm going to post this up because it's longer than I thought. But otherwise, yeah, see if you can. Perhaps a formal practice isn't for everyone right now. Like, see what's right for you. I mean, I do recommend just people to have practices around mindfulness, or whether it's doing something creative or fishing, and just try and do something every day and then build on that. And many practices, and just being aware of where your energy is, and the more and more you do it, the more it requires less sort of conscious effort, and it just happens a lot more naturally, and you create that depth to being and that depth to understanding and knowing yourself, and that creates a whole lot of release of those patterns and energy that are generally there. So thank you.